Hello, everyone. Welcome to our
Hello.
first webinar. Hi,
Hi. Hi, Julie. Hi, T, and hi, T.
IT and
Hi
IT.
everyone. Hi everyone.
Hello, everyone. I'm very, very pleased to welcome you to our webinar. I'm Julie. I'm French. So, hello from France. I'm in charge of communication for customer and B2B sector in Anywr company. I will let Tian introduce to our company and the full webinar, tackling top HR challenges 2023. We are very, very delighted to welcome you to our new webinar dedicated to HR challenges. And we will wait for a few seconds to everyone to connect to the webinar. And after, we will start the session. So feel free to ask your question. If you have any question, please feel free to ask it in the chat. So in the right of the screen, and we will be happy to answer it at the end of the session. So have a good moment, and Chen, it's your turn. Thank you.
So thank you, Shirley. Thank you so much for your introductions, and thank you to all of you who are here today to joining this webinar together with us. And we are so thrilled to have all of you here today to talk about our HR situations right now and also the future of HR in general for this year. And we will also discuss a little bit more details about Asian regions HR market for this year also. So, as you already know, my name is Tin, and I am currently working as a regional business developer for Anywr, focused on APAC regions. We understand that talent management is becoming more complex and it's also kind of like a sensitive subject right now for people to talk about. So that's why we're here today to have you as a companies or even as a talents to tackling all of your recruitment needs and also all of your issues that you are facing right now. And just assure that our team has already prepared a very exciting information agenda for all of you here today. So thank you so much for being here again. And let me just walk you through our agenda for today's webinar. So here, the first sections will be me introducing to you about Anywr, our expertise in the field. And we already have a wealth of knowledge and experience that we are really eager to share with you all today. Moving on, we will discuss a little bit about our general HR market in 2023 and also the big picture about HR Asian situations for this year. Then later on that, our recruitment consultant from Anywr, she will also introduce to you about the general talent trends right now and also some strategy for you to tackling all of your HR challenges right now for this year. And last but not least, as I mentioned from the beginning on LinkedIn about this webinar, we are very, very honored to have operations manager from Upgrad, a very well-known education technology companies in APAC, to introduce about her company and also to share some more insight from her side. And last but not least, let's wrap up all of this webinar by a very, very nice Q&A sections. And you can feel free to ask us any kinds of questions regarding to the presentations. And we can even discuss more about that through email after the webinar. All right. So I think when you already take your time today to join this webinar, I think the first questions that it will make sense to me to ask is who is Anywr? Why I have to take in my time to join this webinar together with them. So at Anywr, we are basically not just a typical HR company that you can see that everywhere, but we are a global HR mobilities company, and currently, right now, we already present in more than 16 countries with over 23 offices all around the world. We believe that talent is borderless, and one of our main scope is to help business and talents to connect to each other no matter where they are in this world. So with over 10 years, we already have some core expertise for our size to help business and also talents all around the world. So the first one is we have Spot, which is our providing services for your local and international recruitment needs. Basically, we will try to help you to find the right talents to input them into the right job opportunities. And then we have Move, where we provide to you all of the solutions to tackle for your challenge about immigrations, also about relocations. And let's say if you need to find candidates from US or UK to go to APAC to work, and you have no idea how to handle for the work permit, for the visa, etc., then you know that you got us anywhere in your hands to have. And finally, we believe that to find the right talents to bring them to your company is already very, very challenging. The next step is to make sure that they will stay as longer as possible with your companies. It means that you will have to have them grow by upskilling the skills, soft skill, hard skill, intercultural management, and also for language courses. We can also help you with that. And for me, for the past 2 years working with Anywhere, I am always proud to say with all of my prospects and clients that we are working as a one-stop shop solutions for you. So wherever you have any kinds of HR requirements or HR needs, you know that you get Anywhere as your one-stop shop solutions. Okay, so at this point, maybe you are already a little bit bored by too much information. That's why I already prepared a short video about Anywhere, so you can just release your mind a little bit and get into the video. Then we will move on to the next presentations when we dive deeper into the HR market and Asian regions.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Chen. Here we go for the video.
Thank you,
You
Julie.
can't wait any longer given the importance of your stakes. We have solutions. We will look for talents available anywhere in the world who match the profiles you are looking for. We offer you to combine contract and mobility solutions to quickly unlock your recruitment. For example, you're urgently looking for a mobile developer. We find the ideal talent in another country who can immediately start your project, even remotely. During this time, we can offer this talent and his family mobility to your country with total management of his procedures: immigration, installation, registration, accommodation, and schooling. We are the only player on the market to offer this service, combining 5 types of contracts, our mobility expertise, and our specialized training team. We provide fast and limitless solutions to hundreds of companies in their talent search, all over the world.
All right, so I hope you already get a better overview about Anywhere, which means anywhere, any work, and anyway. Now, moving on to the next presentations about human resources market this year. I don't know how about you, but about me, I sometimes getting or feeling really overwhelmed by the vast amounts of informations available about the HR market right now for this year. So for me, in my opinion, based on our practical experience, we understand the challenges of filtering through all of that informations. That's why we already identify some of the key insights to share that with you today. And another reason is that we have been working with like over thousands of clients on prospect for the past years. So we really care about listening to their opinion, listening to their feedback, and we also learning from their experience. And it's a very precious things that we had that together with our prospect and with our clients. So in our opinion and our research, we believe that the HR market for this year will be shaped by 4 key factors that we will let you know by the next presentations. So as we already know that the chef of the HR markets for this year is still expected to be a very dynamic and also a diverse one, with a lot of various factors influencing its growth and development. So let me just try to explain to you step by step what kinds of 4 key factors that will shape our HR market this year become more and more better. So the first one you can see is that about the increasing adoptions of cloud-based human resources management. For ourselves, we have seen a growing trend towards a cloud-based human resources management solutions, which will provide quite a lot of benefits as improve first about your data management. Second, it will enhance the security. And last one, it will also be a lot of cost saving for yourself. Another priority of the key factors for this year is about a demand for AIs and the automations in human resources management. So I don't think that there's no doubt to say that they are transforming the HR industry right now. I have a lot of conversation with my client and prospect, and they all agree that the AI and automation is helping them to get their process become more faster, more efficient, and even more important is making that more accurate. Numbers is always have to be accurate, right? And companies right now, they are just basically have a trend to increasingly and adopting these technologies to improve the HR activities, become more efficient, and it will have a lot of impact on their productivities and also their retentions for the companies. So the third one we have right here is the emphasis on employee well-being and diversity. It's very easy to say for people to talk about employee well-being, but how to do that in the proper way is something that not everyone can do that. So basically with the race right now with the emerging market, um, I can say that it become more and more important for companies to put more effort into the emphasis and the employee well-being to keep the retention rate in the company stay at the sustainable qualities. And last but not least, I actually just input this idea this morning after I had a meeting with client, is that the expansions of the human resources management in emerging market this year is also very, very, very growing. It's kind of like a big need for all human resources management, and that service will cater a lot to the specific needs and requirements of these regions. So, for my opinion, I really hope the above information has helped you a little bit to understand about the general market this year in 2023. Now, I think that because we are anywhere in APAC, so let's just take this opportunity for this webinar to dive a little bit deeper into the situations of the human resources in Asian market. What kinds of countries are having the top highest growth in terms of recruitments, and what kinds of industry will get a lot of benefits for this year, 2023? So here, the big picture of Asian market HR 2023. So for Anywhere in general, we have been in operation for more than 10 years. But to be honest, to focus on APAC, we only have around 6. But for me, it will become more and more because we already know that Asian is becoming more and more attractive to business, foreigner, and even talents all around the world to come here. So with over 6 years experience in this market, we have here and witnessed some of the region's impressive economic growth. Based on last year, it was 5.2% that we improved last year for the economic growth. This is making Asian become one of the most attractive. And at this stage, I don't know how about you, but when I see this percentage, 5.2% economic growth, I will have these questions for myself. What does this mean for the HR industry? What kinds of benefits we will get from that? So the first opportunity we will get is about the growing demand for skilled worker. So there is a growing demand for skilled workers in various sectors as technology, healthcare, and finance. This demand is expected to be increased by 15% in 2023, and as a result, a lot of companies will have to prioritize their talent strategies to remain still competitive in the market. And the second one is we will have the investment in infrastructures. So the Asian regions is investing heavily in infrastructure industry, which will lead to a lot of job creations and increase a demand for talents in constructions, engineerings, and project management roles. In 2023, we really believe that the infrastructure industry is expected to grow by 12%, and it will be presenting more and more opportunities for HR professionals to sort and retain top talent in this field. The third one we have right here is the development of digital economies. ASEAN is embracing digital transformations. It is expected to contribute at least 30% to the general region GDP until 2025. So this one will create lots of job opportunities in areas such as cybersecurity and also in software development. And the fourth one is the greater regional integration. So again, ASEAN region is committed to greater regional integrations, which will lead to the free movement of skilled workers across member states. This will present new opportunities for HR professionals to tap into a broader talent pool and drive the workforce mobility across the borders. So, in the conclusions, as a global HR mobility companies, we are really confident that these opportunities will drive the growth and development of the HR industry, not only for this year 2023, but for at least the next 3 years in ASEAN regions. So I don't know how about you feel, how do you feel, or what kinds of questions you have right now after I already grasping all of the opportunities that the economic growth will brings to us. Are you curious right now what kinds of countries will benefit the most from this recruitment? I will have the answer for you right here in the next slide. So these countries that we are put on the table here at the top countries in ASEAN, we have the most recruitment opportunities. We have right here Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and Australia. So Vietnam's manufacturing sector is projected to grow by 7.8%. And Singapore's technology sector is also predicted to grow by 6.8%. This is an excellent industry for considerations for all who are IT related skills co-workers. And then we have Indonesia's on the table. They has two high growth sectors for recruitment with both healthcare and IT. And then in Thailand, already famous with their tourism and hospitality industry, they are also expected to see a high growth of 4.6%, which will indicate an increasing demand for tourism related jobs. And last but not least, we have on the table Australia. Australia construction sector is also expected to grow by 2.9%, which indicates potential opportunities for skilled worker in this industry. So overall, this table showcases the countries and also the industry with the highest expected growth rates. This will help talents and business to focus on your recruitment activities become more better and efficient to achieve the highest chance for their opportunity in Asian regions. And then I think I'm pretty much good with my presentations right now. And before I wrap it up, I would like to apologize if I am too nervous for that. But I would like to open my floor right now for any kinds of questions you might have regarding to the presentations before we are moving to the next one. And for other questions, you guys know that we all have a Q&A sessions at the end, so save for that.
Yeah, and then that is very great to get a very good brief of your ends. So from my ends, I also have the questions as well. So basically, that from your opinions, what are the problems that an HR person is facing in 2023 for recruiting?
Mm. Thank you, Fu. Very good questions. Also, very practical one because it's basically just aligned to all of my activities every day. So, based on my own experience from last year until now, when I work with HR persons, they're mainly facing three problems that I can mention. The first one is about the talent shortage, because due to a rapidly evolving job market right now, they have to face a lot of difficulties finding the right talents to with the right skills, with the experience, and with the cultural fit to their organizations. That's the reason why I think I used to tell that with you before that there won't be a perfect candidate, but there will only be the fit candidate for your organizations. And the second problem is that I think it's about the competitions for the top talents. Everyone wants to get the top talents, not just a regular one. And the competitions for the top talent has been increasingly more and more over the years. And I think also it will be applied for this year with no doubt at all. So as companies compete to find the best candidate, I think HR professional people we have to work more harder, smarter to attract and then also to maintain and retain that talents to their organizations. Mm, Just one more thing that I just realized for a couple months until now. So the first thing will be about the technology disruptions. So the advancement in technologies have makes like recruiting more and more complex every day. And as an HR professional or HR person, you will have to keep up with the latest technology to update for yourself. So with the use of AI, of automations, and the chatbots in recruiting, it will become more and more widespread in the region. And I think as an HR person, you will have to like learn more about that, how to leverage all of that technologies to your work to earn all of their advantage. So far right now, I think that will be the top three problem that all of the HR persons share with me about what kinds of difficult they have to challenge right now. All right. So if there's no more questions right now, or we will save that for the last Q&A sections, I would like to present our next presentation, and speaker will address to you more about our general talent trends right now, also listing some HR challenges for this year and provide some more effective strategy for tackling all of them. So I would like to introduce our next speaker, T. She's currently our international recruitment consultant, and she already have an extensive experience working with various clients, also talents. And I believe and I also confident that we will take away a lot of knowledge and useful insight from her. I can see her smile. She's ready right now. So thank you so much for everyone, and let's go with the next presentations.
Thanks, Ting, a lot for your introduction. It's very nice word from you. I'm really happy to be here today for sharing more details regarding to strategies for the company attracting top talents. I believe that to have good solutions, we need to understand what challenges are, what are they come from. So the best way to understand about it, I don't want to make you guys waiting longer. I will go to the first part where we learn about the candidates reacting to the Dow economy. Okay, so from the slide. All right, so just wait a bit. Technical issues. Okay, so from the slide, you can see that we highlight three main general talent trends during recessions. From this one, the first I would like to highlight is about the growing use of network and social media. When the economy is down or inflated, there tends to be a larger pool of job seeker and a smaller numbers of job openings. This leads to the very high competition among candidates for available job. So the candidate may likely to try many ways to help them gather more job opportunities. This for using social media and other networking tools as well, help them more visible, more connected to hiring managers, potential employers, and industry professionals. For the next part, I can highlight is about the greater emphasis on job stability. During this time, when we have to face a lot of uncertainty, job seeker may more hesitant to leave their current job where they know that okay for this economy problem what the company gonna do with that and what they plan to recover for next year rather than they accept the offer go with some unfamiliar company and they don't know exactly what they plan for next year. This is and this also move to the fact that the candidate may likely to negotiate more on their salary and other job benefits offer as well. They would like to emphasize more on the job growth and job security around that, like what benefits they will receive, what the other well-being from the company that can provide for them. The next part I would like to highlight from this is about higher education and skill levels. So for many experts, they will say that this current situation is like a storm. And when people make decision, they don't want to go out to the storm. They will stay out inside in the house, right? And when they stay inside, believe that they will think, okay, what they do for this time, I think the best investment for every single person is on education. This means that many candidates tend to many candidates, many talents tend to pursue advanced degree. They will attending training courses, workshop, or they seeking certifications in their field. For example, like in cybersecurity analyst positions, we need a lot of certification to prove the skill. A lot of candidates come to me. I can see they are really good in their on job training. However, they also need time, and this time this is the best moment that they can focus to have the better degree, to have a better certifications on their career. That's help highlight the CV better and help them to be well prepared for the when the economy is getting recovery. So these are three main points I would like to highlight from general talent trends during this time. These may not apply to all candidates or all industries equally. However, these factors I believe that can give us some idea, can draw some attention from the HR in particular, or for the company in general, to think about what the ideas for their strategy. And as a recruiter, it's really crucial to stay up to date on the latest job market trend, to have adjustment for your recruitment strategy accordingly. For the next part, I will go details for some ideas to build a better strategy for this. And yes, we'll come to the next part. So from what I'm share, we can withdraw from the trend 3S that highlighting from the market at the moment. The talents will highlight for the scope, the security, and the stability. So yeah, the security and stability is easy for understanding, right? So how about the scope? Scope is about what they gonna do for the company. Do they have to deal with the overloading when the company don't have enough member to support, and what are the next scope of the company, that what are the potential growth with the company. So that is what they are caring about. If you can clear their concerns about these aspects, I do believe that you can have the better strategy to attract top talents. So the first, when we talk about attracting top talents, we may think about attract talents outside the company. But for my experience, I believe that when you can attract, you can maintain your in-house top talent. That's one can be the excellent point that you should focus at first. Take Anywhere as example, Anywhere APAC, we our retention rate until now is 95%. Many of my colleagues in APAC, they have uh, stay with Anywhere for more than 6 years, which is can give us a lot of benefits, like the HR, they don't need to be so headache to looking for the new team member replacing them. And for the team members, we can be sure that they are happy with with the company at the moment, and they can see the role in the company at the moment. Also for the company, when it comes to the cost, when it comes to the like P&L section, I believe that it can cut the cost for new hire up to 50%. This is what we do a research before the webinar. So here the question is like, okay, how can we have a good employee retention? So here I can give you some idea. First, again, about we can provide career development opportunities. So when the talent see that how much they can engage with the companies, and how much they can like grow with the company in longer term, they tend to stay in the company uh, longer. So because people always want to getting better, right? When you provide the environment for them to getting better, I believe that they will stay with you in the longer term. And to make this, you also can try to, in the aspect of foster a healthy working culture, you can do a lot of activities there, like I can highlight from a very basic one to the complicated one, from the very budget effective one to something that you have to invest more and more. So first we can have the active listening. This one can present for um, the simple debrief every month to listen to your employee, or we can do something in large scale like doing survey. And we also can have we can build a flat hierarchy where the employees can share more ideas about some any challenging some any issues, we should build the balance, the working environment as well, balance in terms of the quality. And we may think about some recognition system or reward, a small, a simple appreciation letter from the CEO, from a team leader, to appreciate their contribution, or something really fancy like retreat trip or team building. It also can build a good ideas that you recognize their contribution, so they will maintain the relationship better with the talent in house. So these idea, I hope that it can have the very good, help you to have some good retention with the employee, or with, we say, in-house talent at the moment. And sometimes we also need to have more talent outside come to the company for new projects, for the new plan for in the company. So at that moment we need to connect more and more candidate outside. But how? For me, I believe that any connection, any relationship are built by trust, and to trust you need information about them to trust, right? So if the company can talk about themselves, can present their strengths, their values, and the reputation, they also can create a stronger connection with the employee, with the talent outside. A study by expert found that if the company can maintain the strong employer branding, they can attract 50% higher the qualified job applicants more than compared to the company with the weaker brand. So for we will see that nowadays a lot of company focus on employment branding. That's a good side. Um, when we think about marketing, when we think about doing branding, we think about, oh, wow, it's so costly. Yes, it is. It can be. However, I would love to highlight the ideas that we can also start from something basic, something small, that we can maintain the good habit to have the good employment branding. And then if we are doing that very good, we're building the good foundation, we also can think about doing something more for that. First, I would like to highlight is about talent experience. So the talent experience is created in the moment you do a job posting online. For, let's say, just think about the situation when you are the candidate. However, you when like whenever you receive any JD that is just highlight your requirements, just highlight requirements from the company, just highlight the missions they have to do, and nothing else. At this moment, I believe that you have some thought that maybe the company is not really focused on the well-being of the talents. They only focus on what the talents can provide for them. So for me at that time, you when you can create an engaging job description, it also can help to reflect role, company culture, what you really focus, and you can attract the candidates better at this phase. Maintaining, communicating clearly, responding promptly, and providing a transparent hiring process is also really important too. A report by LinkedIn found that if the organization can maintain the talent experience that well, they can have a very good attraction to the candidate, and they can reduce the cost per hire up to 50%. This is a very interesting number, right? And when in the moment that many candidates they are using social media and online platforms, they are more active to knock the door. You should create a door for them to knock. So we will think about our website first, because this is one you can start first and you can have a better control. Design a website, the company website, with user friendly, visual appealing, and optimized for mobile device. It can be a good idea for you to build effective communication channel for with the talent outside. And you also can use the like LinkedIn, or let's say Instagram, for the connection as well. Maybe someone will questioning about Instagram. Okay, so I will explain here. For LinkedIn, we can have a chance to share about the story, event, job posting, company news, employees testimonial, anything, and we connect with the candidate in professional side. For Instagram, example like Anywr doing, we try to connect with the talents in other side. We try to let talents connect with in like a smart casual side, to let them see about the other active sides of the company as well. I can see that we have a very good connection from Instagram, and we also have a chance to receive some good applications from that as well. Yeah, and what I just mentioned about the how can I say foster healthy work environment, right? So we have like we can utilize this one at the moment. We can use the employee to be our brand ambassador. We can be like we can use them as they can be influencers. We can ask them for help to be influencers for their own network. The marketing in terms of use word of mouth is always the most effective way to highlight about, okay, they can share about their own experience. That is trustful source for their network to consider for apply to the company. That is also the good option as well. And then we move to the next. We have the next part is about the organizing some events, which when we do employment branding, we usually think about. We can do something like basic first, like um, webinar, like what we are doing. We can do podcast, we can do some short as well, and then we can have some more activity like talk show, like networking events, and after working hours event as well, where you can provide some good information to the talents, and also at the same times you can create the connection with the talents. I think that is very good events or very good ideas to do. Last but not least, for employment branding, when you do, you should have the monitor and measure. Like you should know that when you spend the effort, how is their impact? Are there any like part of this you should improve? And from this, I believe that you can gain a better and better employment branding, which is really helpful for your general strategy. And the next part of this is also the last part I would like to give some idea, is about providing competitive offer package. Again, I do believe that we hear about the competitive all the time when we have the JD, uh, or when we are during when the candidate in or the talents in the offer stage. So the question now is, I would like to have the clear definition about the competitive offer package. So what is a competitive? I can say that it will come from many aspects. It's not just about the salary that which is aligned with industry standard, aligned with skill, experience, and qualification from the candidate, but it also highlight part from benefits, the insurance you provide for the candidate, you provide for their family, and some again growth opportunities that you are providing them, training costs, sponsor for books for, or like give them a chance to grow, to have some on the job training, or have some workshop as well. It also can be the good point to highlight in your offer. And maybe about some other aspect, like something small you can do, like happy hour for on Friday, or do some activities to engage the connection between team members. It's also good things to start with. Overall, a competitive offer is not only meet a financial expectation, but also provide a comprehensive benefit package, growth opportunities, and show that your company is stable enough, your company is supportive, even you are facing the challenge, but your priorities is always about the talent centric. So from that, I think that the talents can receive a very good connection from at this moment, and they can make decision better. The last part of this I would like to highlight is about the remote workforce, or remote working mode. This one I should put in the competitive offer package in general idea. However, I would love to make it separate because this one seems like emerging even more after COVID time. And the study showed that 95% of the remote worker wants to continue working remotely or at least hybrid working mode or flexible working mode for the rest of their professional career. A study by Dell also found that the remote workforce program saved the company 12 million annually and reduced the employee turnover rate by 50%. So we can highlight about the working mode like remote option if we can do it, or we can apply hybrid working mode and explain to the candidate why we choose this mode is also the good idea to help them understand better about your package, about your offer. And these are the one I would like to highlight for the last part, competitive offer package. I believe that by focusing on this strategy, on this point of planning, the technical recruiters in particular and the company in general can attract top talents, or they can build a strong pipeline of candidates during the down economy. And even not just that, they also can build, they can use this idea to build for the better pools for their company next year as well. This is also the end of my part today. If you guys have any question, you can let me know.
Thank you, T. So here, the presentation of Feng. Yeah, I just checked if you have any questions. No, it's okay. You can do it, Feng.
Okay. Hi, everyone. At first, I'm very honored to be here today for collaborating with Anywr on sharings of the HR insight in 2023. So from my ends, my name is Phương. I'm currently an operation manager at Upgrad. So mostly from my ends, I will share more about my practical knowledge on how the current HR challenges that we have, especially on the edtech startup. So at first, I heard about Upgrad. So I'm going to give you some insight about introductions about Upgrad. Yes. Okay. So Upgrad is a South Asian high tech company established in 2015, and we are an online higher education platform providing for the postgraduate programs from the top global universities like master and doctorates around the world. So the things that makes Upgrad outstanding from the online education technology is that because of our latest technology. Second is that all of our curriculums are designed by the university lecturers and also by the top industry experts. And the last but not least is under our unique service is that we are providing on our Upgrad buddies who support you during the learning journeys of the learners to make sure is that they don't have any other corruptions or have any questions regarding to their programs. Okay, that is all about the Upgrad. How about the edtechs? So far, as you know, is that for the edtechs, for Vietnam, as for now, according to Vietnam is known as one of the dynamic emerging economies and developed hub for startup in Southeast Asia regions. And according to the VCCI, Vietnam startup ecosystem is ranked on 54 globally. So which means that there are around 3,800 startups actively operating. And the average investment in a Vietnamese startup in the early stage is 1.15 million USD and reaches to 9.5 million USD in the medium and late stage. So this means that the increasing amount of the foreign investment capital poured to the Vietnamese tech startup opens up for the opportunity and also poses challenges for the startup to perform better in order to meet the expectations with the amount of the capital invested. So as you can see that for the startups, we're facing with a lot of challenges in terms of the financial funds, risk management, market segments, and most importantly is on the human resources. So in the part of the human resources, I want to state it out from my experience that we have, especially for a startup, on 3 points. First is about the recruiting right person for right positions. The second is collaborating with HR agency, which means that for the headhuntings. And the last but not least is the onboarding and set expectation with the candidates. So let's go first with the recruiting right person for right positions. Usually, for starting off for a new team, usually is that we are looking for. I would be great that if we can go to the next slide of the recruiting right person and right positions. Okay, so usually for starting off for the new team, we usually think of how we can build a dream teams. Is that we can pick like the best people in the town. Like let's get from like the top agency, like the best corporate in the industry, and as we can build up for all of the very strict dream teams. However, we are forget about how we can build up the values and how we can look at for the vision and missions of the growth of the startups. Instead of that, I would recommend is that we should bring up for the strong team with the most suitable persons in town who have like the very good vision, the values, and the growth strategy that align with our startup. That is first for the right person. The second is on the right seat, which means that you're putting them in the right positions. Just imagine is that the position is the seat that people have to go to work every day. It's gonna be like a comfortable seat, is a small seat or is a big seat. Is how it's showing off the growth of one person in one organizations. So how we can find and define the right seats for that right person. Maybe that from our practice, we're doing on the case study, on the assignment to see that how about their abilities. And also with the personality test, we can define about the colors and how they match with our organizations. And the second part, that is about the collaboration with the HR agency. And I believe that this is for us once we approach with Anywr. We usually have some question. It's like, okay, what is your talent pools? What is your conversion rate? Like how many CVs that you can get one candidate for us? And how long does it take for you to get the first candidate? Some kind of the questions that I believe that for all of the internal HR usually ask for the headhuntings. But in actual, the expectations versus the requirements are not aligned together because for the startups, we know what we are looking for. But in actual, is it the right time or the right way that we should look for a talents? So that is, I believe, that is a very pain point, not only for the startup, but also for the headhunting to understand about what is we are looking for. So to resolve of this one, from my solutions and also what we are working right now with Anywr is that let's start for a weekly or monthly evaluation with the headhunt. Like trying, like don't treat them as your clients, treat them as a member. Like treat them and then let them know about your colors, about your culture, and what is your growth strategy. And from that on, maybe the headhunting, your HR members will shape about your career, will shape about the positions that you are looking for. Maybe that you can put them in an event, offline event, to really keep in touch with your line manager to see that what is the really exactly things that our startup is looking for as a person in your organizations. That is the second point of the challenges that from my ends, I see that for a startup is struggling while working with the HR agency. And my last but not least part is onboarding with the candidates. You already get your candidate, you find a suitable person, you already know this position is for that person with a very comfortable seat. But suddenly, on the onboarding date, they disappear. And I believe that this one is not only happens for a startup, but also for the corporations. So this is coming from the two criteria. First, is about the internal and external. Maybe of the candidates, they have some personal issue that we cannot avoid. And from external as for self, like the offer letter with the expectations and onboarding with the career path. So from our ends, we cannot avoid for this, but there are some way that we can working out to make sure is that the onboarding with the candidate can go smoothly. First, let's do the reference check, which means is that maybe that during of the recruitment you feel that this person is a very good one, but let's do first we check with their career history. Second, to avoid on any expectations during of the onboarding day, let's invite them to trial working date for one day to let them understand about the scope of work, how is everyone's how of the interactions between members, and then the last of the day you should ask them about the feelings and whether that they are ready to shoot out for the offer letters. Next is about the pre-onboardings. You can share with them some information about the organizations, about the benefits, on anything else that they need to prepare before the onboarding date. And the last but not least is align personal with the organization goals. And I believe is that this is not only for the startup, but also for the corporation. Once we look at one person, how they can grow about their personal development in the real organizations, and how we can align between the goal of the person to the startups or the organization values. Okay, so that is one from my ends, from my experience on the HR challenges. Also, I want to give you some case studies that we have from our learners from two sides. One is the candidates, once they meet up with the HR challenges, how they, from the education, how it resolve it. And the second is from the business owner. So first case that we have is one learners that coming up to Upgrad. So usually people will think is that during of the inflations about the microeconomics issue, people will think is that how I can save the cost, right? Because we will not know about the next day what is going to happen. But you already miss is that this is the chance for you to invest in yourself, in how you can upskilling and how you can develop yourself and be ready for the next year. Because you will not know, and maybe that for 2024 you already get ready to be on the part and to meet on the expectations from the HR, from the organizations. So we have one learners who's that have the background from the international business and get ready to be the supply chains. However, during of his working experience, he figured out that data science and machine learning AI is going to be the really trendings for the next few years. Because when we look back for 10 years ago, people usually thinking that, okay, once I want to upskilling of by myself, I should go to study abroad. But once you already be in the stage of you are 30, you are 35, you already have your personal life, and once you go to study abroad, the cost opportunity that you have to change, to have to trade is about your time and your finance. So he's coming to us in that he wants to be a job changer, moving from supply chain to data analytics. And after 3 months getting Master of Data Science in Upgrad, he successfully changed his career as a supply chain to a data scientist in one of the top e-commerce in Vietnam. So this one from the education, what he gains? First, brand new knowledge. Second is about teamwork, and last but not least is a time management. That is from the side of the candidates. So how about for a business owner? How education can help the business owner to be better and be more confident? So let's go to the second case studies. Our second case study is about one business owner. So she is a business owner of one of the education field, and she have experience in education, mostly for teaching. And after 10 years of experience, she decided to start up her own business. Because of the lack of the experience, knowledge in management and also on HR, she faced a lot of issue in how on the people management from her end and to build up her dream, her strong team. That is one of the pain points that not only for corporate but also for startups. So that is the reasons why she pursued for MBA Dickens at Upgrad. You may think is that all people usually going for an MBA or what kinds of they gonna learn, but in actual for the master, they gonna shape you into a specific and specializations on organization behavior, micro, macro, and also the HR. She using all of them her knowledge on in work to apply for the practical business model. And so right now she's very confident to uh, to upskill of herself to have a deeper and more professional and scientific insight into this field and how she can operate of her own business model. So from this part, I want to share with you in conclusion is that during of this time, maybe you think is that educations I can learn it from the practical during of my experience, but you should take more time to invest on your educations to be ready for 2024 and on how between HR, internal HR can find a solution, not only for a startup, but also for the corporates. So that is on from my sharings. I hope that from my ends, I could share with you about my practical solution and how we can work on that. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Fong. Thank you for your presentation.
Yes. So if you
Thank
guys
you
have
for
any questions, I would love to hear from that.
thank you for so much. I myself have learned a lot of new informations about Upgrad, even though we are already partner. But I feel like wow, this is kind of like a new things. Like, thank you so much for your sharing. So, because I did not have a chance to ask a couple of questions, also for T for her presentation and also for Ferg. So I think I will take this opportunity now because we are already in the Q&A sections. So I would like to go back with T a little bit because it was very interesting for me to hear about your sharing about the challenges and how to tackle that in the most effective way. But I think I know you well, and I know that you work mainly with talents every single day. So let's put ourselves in a scenario like I am a talent, and we're it's true that we are facing with some down economy right now, not only in APAC, in Asian, but also all around the world. So what do you think about like how can a talent in this field, let's say in technology field, I mean, how can I be stand out from the crowd with other talents in these regions to make myself more stunning, to make me separate from the crowd, but still during to be able to do that during this down economy?
All right, thanks, Dean, for this very interesting questions. So, for me, I think like I will play a role now as a recruiter. What I looking for in the candidate, and what I see that they will stand out compared to other CV sending, right? So for me, it will be highlight two main part, including technical skill and soft skill as well. For the technical skill, I believe that they should hone their expertise more. For example, for the one who work as a software developer, they should keep upgrading the working their knowledge about different version. They should keep up to date with the latest trend, but at the same time they also need to make sure about the skill they're applying now is the best, is like they dig deeper to that skill already. And the second is the highlighting, I can say, is about soft skill. The technical skill, technical part help you to be past the screening phase. However, the soft skill will maintain you for whole hiring process. Why I say that? Because nowadays you have to work directly with the client, many stakeholder involved. So for soft skill, I would like to highlight about client management, team working skill, and about some other skill like if you go higher level, so yeah, of course it's about leadership skill and project management skill as well. When you can master of this, I believe that you can be outstanding from the market. Sounds very simple, however, to master this level of skill, you need time and you need to practice as well. Yeah, that is what my answer.
Okay, thank you, Thi. Very nice. And just let me take my last opportunity to ask Phương questions because I'm so curious about that. So, Phương, I really love the way that you use the word upskilling for Upgrad and its students. And me and myself, I also work with many different clients in technology industry. I also somehow understand the explosions of education tech companies after the COVID period, because I think during that time people will tend to improve themselves, like learning new hard skills, soft skill, languages to prepare for the better opportunities after the COVID lockdown. So in your opinion, what is your perspective on the growth of education technology companies in Asian regions? And can you share some of the reason behind that viewpoint with me? Because I'm really curious about the education technologies right now.
Yes, thanks, Tim, for your question. That is a very good question because from my end, this is not only for the edtech, but I believe that for the other field as well. Because as you think about 10 years ago, we just have a very traditions of field like only for HR, very traditions. For headhuntings, they we usually seeking for candidates from our network on LinkedIn profiles, etc. And like for property for education as well. But after last 5 years, I believe that we have more evolutions in terms of the big data, machine learning AIs, and just about 1 year ago, you can see is that how thing of the open AI ChatGPT is coming to us. So which means is that we are shifting from traditions to digitalizations, like we're doing everything on technology, and it also happens for education technology industry as well. When as I share, is that the revenue in the online education is projected to reach to 1,007 86,000 USD in 2023, and then the revenue is expected to show an annual growth rate to in a project market value of 1,816 USD by 2027. So, which means that we can see about the growth rate in opportunities in education technology, not only for the postgraduate, but also for the K-12. And I believe right now for all of us, it's going to be very convenient to learn everywhere on technology, on your phones, on your laptops. You don't have to take like a very fixed schedule to go to schools or university daily, but you can use anything on your device to persuade for your educations and earn your knowledge. And for the knowledge, is at share you. I really love the word upskillings because
Yeah.
about learnings, you learnings every day. And one of our vision, one of our tagline is that lifelong learnings, which means is
Mm.
that after your graduation, you will non-stop learnings. And just imagine is that if you stop learning for the next 3 or 5 years, you will be left behind from the new generations coming. So I believe it's that not only for postgraduate, for K-12, for workforce, it would be a very new trends and new evolutions on the online educations.
Thank you, Phương. I myself really, really impressed with that upskilling word. So I think I will try to input that word a little bit more in my sales pitch right now, wherever I have an opportunity with with the prospect.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So I don't know if we still have any questions, or you can just feel free to sending more questions or any concerns that you might have during the presentations to our emails that we already input on the presentations right here.
Okay, so we have a question. Okay, maybe I can read the question, or Chen, if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Let me help. So we got a question here from Jambui. So she's really interested in our spot move growth service and how like she would like to know that how we can describe it in the midst of the competitive market among HR agency in APAC when we see a lot of I add in her question, sorry. When we see a lot of agencies in the market, what do you think makes you outstanding?
Oh, okay. Okay. I actually enjoy this question as I get this quite a lot. I mean, like for 90% all of my time for prospecting, I think this is the top one questions I always have from prospect and clients. So I know and I really understand that we are right now in the era of HR agencies, not only in APAC, in Southeast Asia, but all around the world, and it's kind of like a big cake that everyone will want to have a small slice from that to earn the profit from that. So at Anywhere, I think there are three main bullet points that I think that will make us unique and to separate from a crowd. So the first things, I always try to be very frank and transform with all of my prospects that at Anywhere we only focus on the quality of every single talents that we will present that to you. The reason why we always try to avoid to say the word candidate is because we always screen our candidate at least 3 to 4 rounds before we present to our clients. That's why we call them a talent. A regular CV is very easy for you to grab it, but to be called a talent is something different. And for sure, we are not chasing after numbers, depends on the projects. And then the second thing is that we will always present a talent mapping. It's kind of like a mini market research for you to our client or to our prospect to make sure that both side can understand the most realistic informations in the market regarding that project or missions, and to see the feasibilities of the delivery for the projects with our separate strategy for each different missions and clients. And last but not least, I think that a lot of HR people told me that they have like an insecure feeling with HR agencies because they feel like they are their competitor. So we always work like an extensions of your HR teams. We support you with any kinds of informations that we have because we rather to have one client, but we will work with them for 10 years. It's better than to have a lot of clients, but then there will be some cat fights and we will never work again. So we will make sure to work at an extensions of your external teams to make sure that we will have a bi-weekly meeting and a monthly report to you to make sure that both sides are on the same page. So I hope this information will satisfy your questions.
Yeah. This is I can see that it's very nice questions. I also would like to highlight because I also from the same family as Dian, like Anywhere family. So I would like to highlight the part that Anywhere here in APAC market, we are now trying to read definitions of some part regarding to the market. For example, we will concern ourselves as a partner, not just the client with the agency working. We are the partner, the extension team for your company. And the second thing we highlight is about the human centric. We care about this job is good, but is it good for the candidate? We care about if the candidate feel happy and stay longer with the company, not just like we can place them and after 6 months they can leave. So that's what the two part we would like to highlight that make us super outstanding from the market and maintain our sustainability for longer term. And you can see our expansion. So it's also proof that the point we are doing is the correct direction we are following.
All right.
Yeah,
So
nice.
thank you, T. So I don't know if we still have any questions or we can drop off our webinar right here.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right. So once again, thank you so much for your for your times, for your efforts, because I know we're on busy to draft off quarter 1 of this year. So I hope that we're already sharing with you some of the most useful information, so you can apply that to your work. And as you know that we are already here, we always here if you have any questions, or if you just want to grab a coffee for some sharing, you know, so you can always do that with us. And once again, thank you everyone, for Julie, for Foong, for T, for the time today, and also everyone. And I wish you a good weekend ahead, even though it's just Thursday, but who's cares? Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Okay,
you,
thanks
Thank
everyone.
everyone.
you.
We will
Thanks.
send you the replay of the event, and we will send you an email with all the contacts and the presentation. So feel free to ask us questions on our website or just here in the webinar, and we will be happy to answer you. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the three amazing women, Chen, T, and Foong. Thank you for your work and your presentation. And have a good evening, or afternoon. It's
Yeah,
midnight for me.
we from anywhere.
From anywhere. Yes, you're right. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.